Pretty fuck it. All right, you know what? I'm here. Hi. Hey, everybody. I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm making ass out of myself already. It's already only been a minute. I apologize for that. We're here to play some, read some Higurashi. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, fantastic weekend so far. It is Saturday evening. It is Shion Saturday. It is Satoko Saturday. It is Meakashi Day. I'm not sure whether we should. Let me see here. 12:31. Oh, all right. We were already half an hour into it. I don't know. Do we want to start right from the beginning of chapter 3, or just go back to where we were? All right. Let's. All right. All right. We'll start chapter 3 and then skip ahead a little. How about that? Where does it where did it start us again? Oh wait, no, this is literally right where. Okay, I don't know why. All right, whatever. We'll just start right here. It's a quiet afternoon as always. Since I can't go outside as myself, I have to match schedules with Mion when I go shopping. I've gotten used to it by now, so it's no longer a hassle. Because of this, I naturally have to buy things in bulk. Today, I shuttled between shops and my home. I got this, got that. Oh, wait! Isn't it a 100 yen sale day today? I forgot this. Being in a good mood, I spun around with my arms swung out. Spread out, even. The word swung was not in that sentence. It just appeared there out of my mind. I felt like a little whirlwind. My arm hit a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. It obviously wasn't where it was supposed to be. Ow! What the? Park this motorcycle here. Give it a kick. No hesitation. There were 3 motorcycles lined up there in a row. They all fell like dominoes. A beautiful sight. This is fun, I thought. Being in such a good mood made me leave my guard down. I didn't realize that the owners of the motorcycles were right nearby. It looked pretty scary. They grabbed me by the neck. Oh, that's right. I forgot this. They grabbed me by the neck and dragged me into a dark alley. Then they called me all kinds of names. Everything was happening too quickly for me to grasp what was going on. Oh, that's right. I dug this music. The fuck you, bitch! What you think you're doing? The fuck you, bitch! What you think you're doing? Fucking bitch in, bitch! Gonna pay for what you did? Whoa. They can't really talk properly. I didn't have a clue what they were saying. I had to translate their alien tongue into normal human words in order to understand. We are very upset because you knocked down our motorcycles. You should immediately pay for the repair and compensation. Yeah, that was probably it, yeah. Pass on this girl, I swear to God. That's all. What do you say, young lady? Do you accept these terms? I'd be happy to listen to your opinion. That is, if you do not mind being strangled and such in this alleyway. Yes, indeed. Something like that? I think that's what they said. What? Sorry. I don't think I can continue interpreting. Huh? What you saying? I know what they're trying to say. Somebody has to warn them of the way they park their motorcycles. Would it be fair to those who obey the rules if there was no punishment for those who disobey them? This is an accident, but it must also be God's will. But God, Use me to punish these guys. You can use me to punish these guys, but how will you compensate me later? You know, Shion, for a girl who was talking all about how you didn't let yourself get brainwashed by that school, you're starting to sound a little brainwashed. I'm just saying. I heaved a huge sigh. Of course. I wasn't afraid in this situation at all, because it wasn't a dangerous one for me. And just to prove it, allow me to show you these hoops and jump through them. These three guys were yelling at the top of their lungs at a girl. They didn't look good doing it, and they had too many disadvantages. First, there was the differences in gender and in the number of people. Even if I did something wrong, as men shouting at a woman, it didn't make them look like they were in the right. Added to that, there were three of them. It already looked like it was going to get violent. You know, her whole entire argument here is built, I'm going to say it again, is built on the idea that it doesn't. I mean, she probably could handle it, but that's besides. She's not saying that. Look at this music. Second, the location. Taking a girl into a dark, narrow alleyway is already a bad idea. And on top of that, they're asking for money, not just an apology. Thanks to these facts, the public will be on my side. So this was a fight they couldn't possibly win. The only way for them to win would be to take my money before someone finds out. Considering that, taking me to this narrow, secluded alleyway might have been a smart move. As fewer people will find out about this situation. No, you listen not. I knew how slim their chances of winning were. From the very beginning, they had picked the wrong girl. I'm Sonozaki Mion now. It'd be foolish to mug her in Okinomiya. Soon enough, the people of Hinamizawa would notice me and gather around. They don't spare mercy for their enemies, no matter what. Listen to that music, goddamn. The punks didn't know this area well. If they did, they'd have known how silly it was to rob Eon. Plus, the alleyway isn't as empty as they assumed. This side street is a shortcut which local people frequently use on their way home. In the late afternoon, many people will be passing through here. That time had almost arrived. If I held off a little longer, the street would be soon filled with people. Then the punks would have to go away. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to wait in order to win. This was a simple fight like that. While they could hurl abusive language at me or lift me up by my collar, they weren't actually going to resort to violence because I said so. Cheers to the educational system for ingraining the ladies first mindset. But, as a wicked person, I wanted to toy with them a bit, even though I could win this by waiting. I wanted to paint them as even more villainous, and drive them into a corner that would be even harder to talk their way out of. That demonic desire was rearing its horns. To put it plainly, I'd only need to act as the poor, helpless victim a little further. Like the pathetic, pitiful, tragic heroine that everyone wants to sympathize with. In a case like this, I shouldn't start crying immediately, because they'd get nervous and draw back. If it were a truly threatening situation, that would work, but I needed something different here. I'd pretend to be strong at first. I'd pretend to be strong first. In fact, I thought, why don't I challenge them? Eventually, I'd start trembling. My voice would fade. I'd get tears in my eyes. It'd be even better if I played the role of a strong girl who's slowly giving in to fear. Shion and I are probably the only ones who are capable of pulling that kind of stuff off. Reading this again, this is a, it is a clue or some sort, isn't it? Oh gosh, excuse me. Well, I'm probably better than her. Why don't you let me go now? I already apologized. Talked back with a little hesitation. Am I getting tears yet? Yes! By the way, I've heard men can't shed tears on command. I feel sorry for them. The three punks faltered a bit due to my sudden change in attitude, but they soon started yelling at me again. I had to keep it going. That way, they blatantly look like they're picking on a helpless girl. Please, forgive me. Oh, what's she doing? What's with this girl, huh? I don't. Oh, maybe you should apologize, like from the start. It looked like they were laying off a bit. Did I overdo it a little? It'd be boring if they let me go now. At that moment. I feel like this scene is a good tell of the difference between the twins. Because when it was Mion in this situation, she... Was that one Mion in this situation? I'm pretty sure that one, I remember now, but I'm pretty sure it was Mion, the one who rescued Keiichi was Mion, yeah? And she wasn't really enjoying it so much as she was just putting herself there to help somebody. Whereas Shion's just being a sassy, ballsy little MF for shits and giggles. Which is fun for a character in its own way, don't get me wrong, but... Cut it out! Cut it out! Don't you see her crying? Stop it! The boy around my age appeared. He was skinny. He looked weak. He looked younger than he probably was. He also looked smart. He bravely glared at the punks. What the hell? Who the fuck are you? Back it the fuck off, bruh! The punks turned away from me to face the boy instead. The boy looked a bit agitated when the punks started yelling at him. They sure were ruthless. But the boy must have known that from the beginning. He must have known that he was going into a dangerous situation, yet he didn't hesitate. Fucking say something! Why don't you answer us? Dots. He must have wanted to shout back at them, but he probably never used that kind of language in his life. God, he's so fucking cute. We couldn't have expressed his feelings out loud. God damn it, he's so fucking cute. He might have not even known what to say. We just kept on glaring at them to let them know he wasn't going anywhere. The three punks, though, might have thought he was just lost for words in his fear. But I knew different. The boy was overpowering them with nothing but his will. Really? I think... Are you sure that's not just you? The punks were losing. So they resorted to violence. They grabbed him and knocked him down. They hit, kicked, and tossed him around. And God, he looked hot. Hotter than ever. It looked painful, but I knew he was enjoying it. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. I'm really killing the mood, I'm sure. That is not quite the way I meant to phrase. Oh well, whatever. It was his victory. Oh, Shion, you silly girl. In the end, Local passersby stopped the punks. They made no further fuss and just went away. They would return a year later to cause yet another little incident. The boy stood up. He was covered in dust. He smiled when our eyes met and asked me if I was all right. He didn't look particularly okay himself, though. But boy, was he fine. All right, I'll stop for real. How could you step into a fight you obviously couldn't win? Pick your opponents better next time. I hesitated at first. He laughed, saying that he was watching from the beginning. That meant he had the option to walk away. But instead he worked up the courage and stepped in. That was reckless, not brave. You're being a little harsh, Meow. You should at least say thank you. I saw you crying. No, I wasn't crying. That was just an act. Okay. Hey, you don't believe me, do you? Do you really think I'd cry? No. Nobody believes Sonozaki Mion would cry when punks bullied her. Why are you laughing? You really don't believe that was an act? I'd never cry. I believe you. I do. And then we were married. I realized one thing. He must be one of Mrs. friends. He didn't seem to realize I'm her twin. Thought I was Mion with a different hairstyle. Wait, you've been going around with your normal hairstyle? You are just begging to be. Well, I guess if they did kind of decide that I'm torn between calling her Hag and Gran, and if Odio did kind of in her way give a sort of passive "you can stay," then I guess it's okay. But Mion and I had to live separately since before we went to elementary school. Mion was in Hinamizawa, and I was in Okinomiya. I lived in a totally different environment from her, so it's not strange that people don't know me. Actually, only very few people know I exist. Why am I saying it like that? I almost told him that I'm not Mion, but I managed to stop myself. Mion couldn't be here. He is from Hinamizawa. It wouldn't be good if he thought he saw a Mion look-alike in Okinomiya. So, I had to act like Mion. Dealing with him could be more difficult than handling those punks. Well, I was just relieved because you seem to have a girly side after all. You sound hostile. What exactly do you mean by that? I thought you'd kick those guys' butts with some crazy martial arts. So I was really surprised when you started crying. When you just started crying. Hey! Like I said, I was acting. Weren't you listening at all? You? Whoever you are? He gently put his hand on top of my head and stroked it as if stroking a kitten. I could remember somebody doing that to me when I was little, but it had been quite a while since somebody stroked my head. I didn't know what to do. Why did it make me so embarrassed? My face reddened all at once. I couldn't say anything. Hey, are you making fun of me? I stuttered in embarrassment. He looked calm, as if he was used to doing this. Whatever. Aren't you glad, though? Glad? What do you mean? Well, you didn't get hurt. I smiled while he kept stroking my head. His smile looked divine. He wasn't going to stay for long. He already saved me from this after all.
Well, I need to be going, so I should head off now.
Okay. I wanted to go through all the steps of meeting someone for the first time, but he didn't. As far as he was concerned, he just saved a friend from danger and wanted to leave quickly to avoid seeming pretentious. He and Mion must be friends who knew each other well. I couldn't bring myself to ask, "What's your name?" Mion's friend smiled once again. The smile looked as refreshing as a clear blue sky. This time he smiled a bit.
Ha ha ha! Don't worry. I won't tell anybody you were crying. Ha ha! Well, nobody would believe it if I told them anyway. Nobody would ever believe that our invincible class president cried. Ha 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 ha!
Okay, I think the joke of him sounding faux manly is run its course, so I'm gonna stop now. He patted the dust off his butt once again. It is! He walked back to the sunny main road, away from the dark alley. Is it gonna be this hard to try to not for me to fight? All right. Then he turned around. See you in school tomorrow. I mean, yeah. Disappeared into the brightly lit street. To sit in the gloomy alleyway. Wish he could have come over here into my... And that's as far as I'm going to go there. I can no longer see him. Just staring absent-mindedly at the bright light. That first time I met Satoshi. Not even allowed to walk freely under the sun. I met a boy on a sunny day. How come a perverse girl like me fell in love with innocent? Well, I feel a little less guilty. That must be Satoshi. He looks like what you described, and he has a habit of stroking people's heads. That's such a way to introduce somebody to somebody. Like, hi, this is my friend Bob. He looks, looks like this, and he has a habit of rubbing people on their head. You know, just, it's kind of, you know, I mean, alright, this is, the 80s, I don't know. I don't think that excuse is gonna keep lasting, if it's even lasted this far, but hey. Huh. Huh? The boy from earlier is called Hojo Satoshi. Mion said that he's always daydreaming. Really? Is that what, does Mion not know right now? I would think she would. Or is she, or is she not telling Shion that she knows? Maybe that's it. So she didn't believe that he saved me at first. Little sister, always kicking his butt. Uh-huh. He has a little sister? Yeah. Her name is Satoko. She's funny and rude. It's quick to cry when she's cornered. She's fun to watch, but things have been rough for her lately. Okay, so you do know. So she's feeling a bit down. I got a comment that... Okay, Satoshi likes to stroke people's heads, is always daydreaming. That was kind of it for Satoshi. Satoko got... She's funny, she's shrewd, she's quick to... She cries when she's cornered, but she's fun to watch, but things have been rough, so she's a bit... I mean, maybe I'm just biased. But I'm getting the impression Mion likes Satoko more, or I don't know, maybe it's just her being Mion and just being I wouldn't say maternal isn't the word, but it's like in that direction, in that it's like, I mean, the same way, she reached out to Rena when Rena transferred, when she reached out to Keiichi when he transferred this, it's that she's just drawn to, oh, this kid's in trouble, I'm, that kind of thing. I mean, I don't know if it's already been said, or if it was said, or if I'm just, but wasn't the club even established for the purpose of keeping Satoko, and I guess indirectly Satoshi, at school longer? So, I feel like, yeah, sister came up naturally in the conversation. I tried to soak up every scrap of information about Satoshi. Why? Why am I trying to ask so much about him? As I asked myself that, the feeling I got when he stroked my head came back to me. I must have been blind. Hello, Shion. Eh? Sorry, I'm here, I'm listening. To start, I hear Satoko's on bad terms with her aunts. Not though she's mature, so he knows how to conduct himself, but bad things happen, Satoko really lets herself go. And by bad things, you mean when she gets screamed at, or kicked, or punched, or whatever, but this told me was very interesting. What is this music that I can barely hear? She told me that the parents of Satoshi-kun and his little sister are dead. Satoshi-kun and Satoko are now living with their uncle and aunt. They don't seem like very respectable people. They're always fighting, and the uncle is cheating on the aunt. He mostly was with... Oh! Okay, this is actually an interesting detail. An extremely interesting detail, actually. Because if Teppei was not taking part in a majority of the abuse back then, and I mean they do kind of constantly say it was mainly the aunt and Teppei just kind of fucked off, but this is like I feel like the most explicit, definitive. He's literally not even there most of the time. So if that's the case, then but does that recontextualizes some things, because, well, I think there's no arguing Satoko has some really bad PTSD, although I don't know. I should put the thing up, shouldn't I? Where is it? Damn it. Okay, so her PTSD is like, I think, that's like, I mean, that's, I feel like just from Higurashi alone, we can't debate that. And I don't know how much Go is really factoring that into it, things compared to, witches, but, so like, also, it just shouldn't matter, because if Satoko's looped, she has literally lived through every time Teppei did abuse her. But see, that's the thing. If we look at it this way, then that means that before she started looping, the Satoko that became whatever the fuck she is now, the loops in which he did do that were after she got through the happy ending, quote unquote, where his involvement, if this is to be believed, was comparatively minor. Like, now obviously the way Tatari Goroshi um, conveyed it would not suggest that he wasn't involved at all, but if this is, I mean, I am more inclined to trust Mion's kind of maybe I wouldn't want to say first-hand accounts, but I mean she is the next head of the village, and this is taking place in the relevant time period. Keiichi, meanwhile, was getting second-hand accounts a year later. So between the two, I feel like the information we should be taking as or going off of or thinking about stuff like this is this information right now. And I mean, it's literally one line, and I could very well like click and click and click, and then everything I'm saying right now will be invalidated. So you know that could be really stupid of me, but still. Sorry, I need some water. As far as the looping stuff is concerned, then we can't. I don't want to say. Then we should. If this is to be trusted, then I think it would be pertinent to know how involved was Teppei in this year before the fourth run of the curse, because if it's like that, then and his involvement the fifth year, which would have been when he comes back, Tato Higurashi and so on, doesn't happen normally, then would it almost be fair, quote unquote, to say that his abuse is akin to when Ichi loses it, or when when whoever loses it in that fifth year, because if that's the case, then do we need to is he I should really have waited like another 2 minutes, because I'm sure there's going to be a little more elaboration. But if that's the case, and he's a scumbag, but he's only a scumbag to the point that he's just fucking around, and he's not beating her and potentially etc. yet, then I don't know that. Then, as far as the Teppei in quote unquote the present is concerned, while he is having those nightmares of these these what ifs, that really is just akin to how in I think it's the next arc. I know we haven't actually gotten to it yet, so spoilers if you're reading along with me. It's what happens with Keiichi in the next arc, where he remembers Meakashi. I believe that's what happens, and it's more akin to that. Very interesting. Alright, I better get back to reading. I'm sorry. Let's. He mostly lives with his mistress. Now watch, the very next line will probably answer everything I was just saying. Satoshi-kun and Satoko are entered into that unwelcome environment. What surprises me the most is the fact that Satoshi's parents were the Hojo couple who were the leaders of the pro-dam activists. That fact must have added something to the situation. I don't know what kind of stance the uncle and aunt took during the dam conflict, but they must have taken some indirect blows. Shion, that is... I get it's like 99.9999999% because of Satoshi, but that is shockingly empathetic from you. Satoshi-kun's parents died after bothering them so much, and even left them with their children. The uncle and aunt obviously can't love those kids. Okay, never mind. Well, things have gotten worse this past year, too. Women can be really nasty bullies. Sometimes it doesn't matter who they're bullying, even if it's a kid. On top of that, women tend to care less about propriety than men. As a result, Satoko seems exhausted with it all. I can imagine Satoshi-kun bravely protecting his little sister, just like he saved me. So, he must be exhausted too, right? Huh? He must be covering for Satoko all the time. But wouldn't you normally assume that he's also feeling worn out? Well... Oh, Mion! I don't know. And I said something wrong? Oh, or if it's like a... Mion sounded a bit taken aback. That meant Mion can't tell how he's feeling, because he's always wearing that blank look. Never considered it. Or is this like going to be like a learning experience for me? She'd be that insensitive, even though around him all the time. But he's not her type, Shion. It's that simple, alright? You like the kind of boy that'll rush in. I can't word it without making Keiichi look really bad, and I think I made him look bad enough when I yelled at him during Watanagashi, so I'm not gonna... Okay, I got it. The first letters of your names, girls, are what they are for a reason, and I will just drop it there. Wait, what was that last sentence? I was amazed to realize that. Well, anyway, what does he usually do? He looks smart. Does he read a lot of books? Yeah, you're right. He likes to read. He's now reading, what's it called? I continued asking about him. About what he likes, dislikes, what he thinks about. I asked all these questions because I wanted to know more about him. It was the first time I'd ever been that interested in somebody. I didn't want to admit that I had feelings like that. Did I fall in love just because of a stroke on the head? Am I stupid or what? When I remember the feeling of his hand on my head, I feel tingly. I tried doing it myself. But it didn't feel the same. I'm stupid. What am I doing stroking my own head? Shion, what is with you? Sis, I'm done for. I became stupid. What? Why are you laughing in that weird voice? You wouldn't understand his feelings, sis. I'll give her a year. Would I see him again? I felt as if my suffocating life finally grown brighter. The life I lived really was beginning to suffocate me. I couldn't go out freely, and I always had to make arrangements with Mion before going to work. I thought my life would improve after escaping from the school, but in reality, it wasn't that easy. It's not healthy to live like this for too long. Without any friends to hang out with, I felt like I was hibernating. I'd started to feel the dangers of falling into boredom. All I could think of now was Hojo Satoshi-kun's face. I'd only met him briefly, but my encounter with him had a great impact on my new life. I felt like something exciting was going to happen. Really, I was hyped up like a little kid. The more I thought about it, I realized I've been thinking about him a lot lately. This might be a crush. Really, Shion, it might be a crush, huh? I felt a little ridiculous idolizing him in such a romantic way, though. Then what? Would you rather idolize him in a what kind of way? And out of the blue, I got a chance to see him again. Oh, I saw a familiar face at twilight in the park. He was sitting on the swing. He looked like he was zoning out, or maybe even thought. He didn't notice me even though I was right in front of him. I reminded myself to speak and act like Mion before talking to him. Hey, what are you doing here? Mion, you surprised me. You don't look surprised. I've been standing here for a couple of minutes now. Didn't you notice me? Have you? Sorry, I didn't. He smiled self-derisively and shrugged. He looked depressed, like something was troubling him. I wish I could trouble him. Something bugging you? You can talk to me if you want. Maybe I can help. No, that's okay. Come on, I owe you one from before, Satoshi-kun. Maybe you don't think this old man can be of any help. Don't you know how mighty I am? I'm okay. Yeah, you're laying it on kind of thick, Shion. You don't have to help me. Huh. What is it then? Are you saying that you don't need help from a girl? Thinking him unfair, I puffed up my cheeks in a sulky gesture. Satoshi-kun noticed that and smiled. Yes, that is a smile. No, Mion, it's just messed up my swing when they needed me the most. I mentally rifled through all the information about Satoshi-kun that Sis had given me. Doesn't look like much of an athlete, but apparently Satoshi-kun belongs to a junior baseball team. They're called the Hinamizawa Fighters. I doubt he's very skilled, since I didn't hear much about his contributions to the team. Maybe that's why he doesn't tell many people that he's a member. Given how down he felt as a result of messing up, though, he must be fairly dedicated. I deduced all that from what Sis told me, and carefully chose my words so as to sound like her. What? You feeling down just because of that? Hey, it's not that easy to get over, Mion. I pat his back while chuckling. Satoshi-kun would probably call me insensitive. I knew I should listen to him rather than trying to cheer him up. Acting like Sis was probably the wrong thing to do in this case. I had no choice. It was just how she'd react in this situation. Aha! Aha! Instead of feeling down, you should practice even harder and aim for your chance, you know? Practice makes perfect here. Well, if you want to beat the opposing pitcher so badly you're willing to pull some tricks, then I might be able to help you in a few ways. No point if I cheat. Satoshi-kun hung his head after letting his regrets out with a big sigh. Surrender, defeat, resignation were all visible in that gesture of his. Are you quick to give up or persistent? You're a man, and then don't you want to be a star and have your 15 minutes of fame? Satoshi-kun grinned and said yes. Of course, that'd be wonderful, but that's not why I play baseball. I just have fun batting and throwing the ball. You can understand that, right? Was it always this easy, or is it just because I'm thinking in Neon's head right now? This old man isn't sure. I only love games that I can win. I don't understand how you can love something when you can't be the best at it. Hmm. That really sounds like you, Mion. It's almost if someone is trying to be you. Having realized that I'm trying to make him feel better, he laughed along. He didn't look depressed anymore. I guess he was just feeling down because of the game. He wasn't as depressed as I thought. Maybe I just jumped to conclusions when I saw him sitting alone in the park. You always put forth your best effort to win. That's admirable, I think. Yeah, definitely is. He smiled gently and stood up, then started stroking my head. All of a sudden, I totally wasn't prepared for that. My body was not ready. Oh. Not this when he did it this last time, but how can he stroke somebody's head so easily? Felt like I had turned into a little kid. Shion, why? Memories from kindergarten came to mind. My face must have been red. Felt embarrassed, but also like I was in heaven. Satsuki stroked me, though petting a cat. Again with that! I was blushing, my eyes closed. Felt helpless. What? 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 Shit, what? What? Shit. What the fuck did I just read? I felt helpless, like a girl being treated by the dentist with mouth open, eyes shut. Wait, Shion, you are into some shit. You feel like a little kid. You feel like you're a cat being pet. You feel like you're a girl at the dentist office with her eyes closed. Do his hands have like some kind of barbs on them that are injecting like some kind of toxins and drugs into your system? This damn girl. Are you that thirsty? Satoshi-kun didn't seem to notice my feelings at all. He didn't seem to care. I hate him. Fuck up. With my eyes still closed, I waited for him to finish. He suddenly withdrew his hand. The bastard. I really hate him now. I need to get going. My aunt wants some stuff, so I have to go grocery shopping. Oh, okay. My voice faltered. I was so embarrassed. I'm going shopping too. Neon. What? You are? I thought the maids did all your household stuff. Shoot. I messed up. The main Sonozaki house, the maids do everything. Neon has furniture? And this has never been addressed? My god. Or maybe it has. I don't know. Therefore, Mion hardly goes grocery shopping, and she's bragged to some people about that. I should have known better. Still, it would be too hard to find an excuse. I just happened to be in town, so I thought I'd help out with the household stuff. Is that a problem? That doesn't sound like you. You always avoid doing boring stuff like that. You talk too much. Oh, stop poking my head. Satoshi-kun seemed to be having fun with how embarrassed I'd get when he patted me. Anyway, I managed to talk my way out of it. He didn't seem to really care much about the details. While walking with Satoshi-kun in the shopping district of Kamiishiki,
Suddenly occurred to me.
why had I messed up? I'd known Mion would never go grocery shopping. What an amateurish mistake. Did I make that mistake when I was pretending to be Mion? No. I was probably making a shion. I couldn't keep lying to myself. I had to just admit it was simply because I wanted to spend as much time with Satoshi-kun as it was easy to see why I was so attracted to him. Devilish good looks, his smooth voice. No, but really, Shion, do go on. Please tell. I found something intriguing in my boring. Really? That's. And I didn't have to feel tense because he thought I was something else. Somebody else. Etc. Etc. His easygoing nature made him fun to be around, and an habit of hitting people on the head was fun, too. From these symptoms, I could tell I was embracing the feeling of love. I was just casually enjoying that feeling. It wasn't that I fell in love with him. But baka. I was just having fun, you know. This is just a casual thing, you know. Not doing anything serious. I could simply spend some fun time with Satoshi-kun without having to think too much. Which one is Brock? You too, man. Okay, I guess it would be you too. Which one is broccoli? The green one or the yellow one? That's cauliflower, Satoshi-kun. Hey, could it be that you can't tell lettuce from cabbage either? Wait. Ignore the typing. I mean, but what the fuck? But cabbage and lettuce are both green. What are they? What? What? I guess when you cut them open, but I see. Maybe. Okay. I'm seeing it. All right. I want some cabbage. I suddenly could go. Fuck. I shouldn't have. This was not something to Google. It's cauliflower. Hey, could it be you can't tell lettuce from cabbage either? Not that bad. I'm doing my best here. Satoshi-kun stared at the heaps of broccoli and cauliflower, all found here in the canned food section. After thinking for a while, he reached out for the wrong one. That's not it! Watching you shop is like being on a roller coaster. A lot of fun for me, though. You got me. Satoko can't tell the difference either. Which is broccoli and which one is cauliflower? You guys are too funny. This told me that Satoshi was a flaky big brother to his nagging little sister. I hadn't met Satoko, but she must be having a tough time dealing with Satoshi-kun. He stumbles over everything he buys, after all. That's cooking salt! Mixed with pepper, but it's different. It's different from regular salt. Oh, is it? I think I saw salt and pepper separate in a science experiment once. Stop making excuses and just put it back on the shelf. This is normal salt. What are you getting next?
And so time passed.
You're being a great help, Mia. Look smart, but you have serious issues. I think you should study more. At my place. A little hard. There. This in? In it goes. Ah! That's not it! Don't just throw anything in the basket. Check the price and how many servings it is first. My first impression of Satoshi-kun was that he was strong and reliable. But the more I spoke to him, the more surprised I was at how clumsy and unreliable he was. How do I put it? It was hard to leave him alone. He was dangerous on his own. If he wasn't careful, he might start wondering, do you cross the street when the light is red? Where the fuck did we hear that analogy recently? Was it Rika used it on Akasaka, right? Was that it? Or was it in Sotsu? It was very recently, and it was something Higurashi. I know that. Or was it green? He get himself run over by a dump truck. Sweat dropped. Laugh track. Your total is 1,780 yen. Sounds like you made out pretty well, though. You have a member's card? Oh, yes, I do. Where is it? Oh, sorry, we can't seem to find it, so we'll be alright for today. I finished checking out, ignoring Satoshi-kun as he fished through his wallet full of receipts. It was horrible, Mion. You made me waste points. Go slowly fishing through your wallet to look for your member's card in the middle of the evening shopping rush. There was a huge line behind us. Didn't you notice all the evil glares from all the old ladies? Listen, at times like that, you should get it out before reaching the register. Oh. Right. That's good to know. Not only when you go shopping. Same thing goes for when you ride a bus. Satoshi-kun, I bet you don't open your wallet and start looking for change until you're about to get off and you have to pay while you're holding everyone up behind you. No, everyone walks by me and pays their own fare. You know what that means? Being a super huge bother to everyone. You need to have the money out beforehand. That's just good manners. You get it? Okay. You're scary today, Mion. Satoshi-kun smiled as if patronizing me. I couldn't believe it. He was definitely the type who made women want to protect him. Sure, he was fine when he had a busybody like me around him. And I couldn't stop worrying whether he was able to function in society without someone like that nearby. We got plastic bags and sorted out what we bought. Satoshi-kun put a pack of tofu at the bottom of the bag. I slapped his hand and put in a milk carton instead. Okay, there we go. Now your aunt won't freak out when she opens the shopping bag in her kitchen. Thanks? You helped me a lot. I don't think I'm very good at shopping. Just shopping? That's definitely not the only thing. Just kidding. I'd realized a few things while I was spending time with him today. He's not just bad at shopping. He's also chronically clumsy. In general, you could call him a slow thinker. That meant when he stepped into the quarrel with the punks, he must have needed a lot of courage. He might be a simpleton, but he's not stupid. He's aware of his weakness. So, he must have been aware of the danger in that situation. He could have chosen to walk away even though I was in trouble. But he chose to be a man and stepped in. That was really admirable of him. Good boy. You did a great job. Good boy. You did a great job. There. What is it? Don't stroke my head. I'm rewarding you for shopping successfully today. There. You're making fun of me, aren't you, Mion? No, I'm not. Can you go home by yourself? Do you know how to get there? You are making fun of me. Satoshi-kun's slash Jesus! Satoshi-kun's sulky face flushed red. Oh, he's just too cute. I want to take him home. Ah! At that point, I caught a glimpse of a billboard from the corner of my eye. Piano lessons, all double X. Abacus class, junior baseball team, members wanted. It was a posting for the team Satoshi-kun belonged to. It showed the day, time, and place of their next practice. By then, I knew just how flaky he was. I figured he must be just the same when playing baseball. Satoshi-kun realized that I was reading the posting. He looked uncomfortable and walked away. I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's Shion talking. I know what you're thinking. I hope you won't come to see me playing baseball, Shion. Am I right? What does that mumbling mean? I know I'm right. Satoshi-kun became quiet after mumbling something. It seemed like he couldn't say anything back since I had been right on the money. But you're just too cute. I don't think going silent is a good way to dodge the issue. Well, that might just have been the way innocent people like him would react in a situation like that. See you, Satoshi-kun. It's getting dark, so be careful on your way back. Aren't you going home, Mio? Hinamizawa? I have to make a stop somewhere else first. Don't worry about me. I'll help you this time. In return. I'm okay. What are you going to help me with anyway? You should learn to support yourself before you try to help me. Really mean today. He seemed to have some pride at least. He looked a bit upset because he was teased by a girl. But in contrast, I felt very satisfied. As a result, I forgot to keep my guard up. Thank you for the help. That was sweet of you. Whoa! While wearing a bright smile, Satoshi-kun suddenly started stroking my head again. Oh, he's teasing me, but... Oh, I can't reject him. Keeps doing it only because he's realized I won't resist. Oh. Hey, Mion. You should go home before it gets dark. see you in school tomorrow. Yeah. See you in school tomorrow, too. In fact, I wouldn't see him tomorrow at all. It felt awkward, but I had to settle for that. And for developing a case of Tory voice for some reason. I had to thank Sis for letting me use her name. After I separated from him, I found myself giddy and wishing to see him again, as soon as possible. I wanted to know more about him. I couldn't wait for my next chance to see him. Actually, maybe there was something I could do. Just like when I obtained my freedom from St. Lucia's. I could choose how to live my life. Whatever, it wasn't that complicated. I just wanted to tease him more. I wanted him to stroke my head more. And, whatever. I already knew the schedule for his baseball team. Okay, I better stop that. Or I'll get stuck. Frozen. Like, when I would try the voice of popping off, and so on and so forth. You have received a new tip. A crumpled diary. A hopeless pair. Let's read that tip. Unfortunately, this one I probably need to do the voice, don't I? Oh, wait, never mind. That's unfortunate. My aunt finally stopped her hysterical screaming. Today was just like any other day. Can't remember what set her off. Whatever it was, she changed subjects constantly anyway. It didn't matter. She went on past midnight again. The urge to sleep was pounding the back of my head. Once Satoko had been able to relax, she fell down on the spot and started sleeping, still clinging to my sleeve. I carried Satoko to the bedroom and laid out our futon. Here, Satoko. Your futon is ready. Get in, okay? Satoko crawled in like a worm. Stopped moving once she was inside. I wished I could go to bed too, but couldn't. My aunt asked me to do some chores. I had to get toothpaste after school tomorrow. I had to write it down somewhere. I had to make rice for lunch tomorrow. I set the timer. Right, I also had to repile the towels in the bathroom. That was the reason for today's scolding. My aunt will get mad if everything isn't done the way she wants. Oh, and there was something else. I was working at the grocery store the next day. They wanted me to bring an apron. Did we have an apron in this house? I'd never seen one. My aunt will be sleeping when I go to school, so I don't have time to ask her. What should I do? Since Mion helped me get that job, I don't want to screw it up. In that case, why don't I ask Mion about it at school? What? She might lend me one. Was there anything else? I was envious of Satoko because she got to go to bed. It was pathetic that I felt that way. Alright. Alrighty, that was Chapter 3, citizens, so I believe you know what that means. Indeed, citizens, while I could be saying farewell,